on these topics. So we'll see what is merchant banking and what are the major roles of merchant banking in India and what are the major objectives of merchant banking in India. So what exactly the banks are doing for as a merchant bank. So that we are going to focus on this particular merchant bank. So we know what's a merchant banking, that is governed by SEBI, and we have the FEMA Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act. All these are governed by the SEBI and RBI as well as. So we can focus more into the merchant banking activities in India. So we'll see initially what is a merchant bank. So merchant banker is nothing but as normal banks where it is a body or a corporate. We are focusing more about the shares, selling of the shares, buying of the shares. So in financial term we can call that as a securities. So how a security can be buying or how a share can be buying from this particular day. Okay, so that's a major idea for the merchant banking. So any person or any corporate or any body, they are engaged in the selling of a securities or buying of a securities will be called as a merchant bank. So that we can see. So we can see what are the major objectives of a merchant banking. Okay, so the main function is nothing but the corporate counseling. Okay, so whenever you are approaching to a bank to get a loan or a fund, okay, so they are counseling you, they are verifying your data. So same thing like for a company. So that's why we will be calling as a corporate counseling. So they will give the necessary counseling to the corporate to know which project they are engaged right now. What is the fund they are required to manage this particular project, and what are the essential equipments or materials they need to run this particular project. Okay, so that's a major idea for the corporate company. So here I mentioned 3 points. So here I mentioned the appraisal of the product lines. So they will be checking this particular company or the project is feasible or not for this particular current practices, and they will be checking the technology. Okay, technology involved in this particular corporate counseling. Okay, so how a capital can be restructured if you are into a loss-making company. So everything as a merchant banker they will be taking care of, and also as a merchant banker they will be helping you to arrange the loans from different financial banks. Suppose you are acting as a merchant banker. Okay, so if you are required the fund, you can approach your merchant banker or any banks where you can get the necessary funds. We will be calling that as a venture capital. Okay, so where you can get the funds for the high risk projects. Okay, so that's a major idea for the corporate counseling. And next one is a project counseling. So corporate counseling and project counseling is different. Okay, so here as a single company they will be involved into the many projects. For example, if you see TCS or HCL or Capgemini, they are into IT service providers, but they are engaged into different products simultaneously. So that will be called as a project counseling. So the main functions as a merchant banker they will be taking as a review the project ideas. Okay, so they will be checking what is the main project idea focus on this particular project. So what is the feasibility of this particular project, whether it can be implemented or not. So then only you can get the fund for the projects. And next one is a provide advice on the project implementation. So they also will be checking the how a project can be implemented, like what all the resources are needed to implement this particular project. For example, the manpower or the technology or the software that you are using to implement this particular project. And next one is the selection of team. So that is very, very important. Any project they are involved, you have to select a team. They have to work in a coordinated manner or in a collaborated manner. Okay, so that will be called as a selection of a team. And arrange takeover and the mergers. So that is very important. So merger is nothing but the merging of two different companies. That also will be taken care by the merchant banker. So we can see a recent examples like a Capgemini and Altron. It is a recent example for the merging of the IT companies. Okay, so they will be taking as a merchant banker, they will be acting as an intermediator to take care of the merging activities, and also the takeover. Takeover is nothing but taking the control of one company. Suppose you are a loss-making company, so some good profit-making companies will be taking your companies and they will be running your business. So that's a basic idea for the arranging takeovers and the mergers. And next one is a pre-investment study or like a credit syndication. So this is very important term in the finance or in terms of a merchant banker. So credit syndication is nothing but the loans, like a normal loans that we are getting for our project, or like a loans, education loans that we are using. The same thing will be called as a credit syndication. So depending upon the project and the viability, you will get the loans. So that's a basic idea for the credit. Even you can get the loans from the international banks, or like an ABN or other HSBC banks. So well, you can get a lot of loans, because they are giving a lot of loans for the startup companies. So that's the main ideas. And main thing is they will be checking your working capital. So you know what is a working capital? It's a day-to-day funds that we are using in a company. So that's a basic idea for the working capital, to give the salary to the laborers and other maintenance activities. So that will be taken care by the merchant banker. So once you will approach your merchant banker, so automatically they will be taking care of all the activities till the project is getting set up or implemented in a future time. So that's a basic idea for the credit syndication. So that's all for today's session. So maybe tomorrow we can continue with the same functions, and we can see more detail into the venture capital and what is a merger, and even we can see what is a mutual fund and credit rating. So hope you all got the basic idea of this particular topic that we covered. It is nothing but the merchant bank. So we can wind up for the class today, and we can catch up.